Why hello there everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial video. We haven't done a tutorial video in a while, and this one was recommended probably a couple of months ago when I was building my summer minigames map. Now if you don't know, I build a lot of minigame maps. I love making maps which just have multiple different worlds or scenery situations you get teleported to or you can walk to. I don't like building a map that's just one destination and it just all looks the same. So I always make just a random system which picks a random area on the map and you get teleported to it, just like a minigame map would be like. Now if you want it so players can pick the minigame, I have another tutorial for that with an old mic, so go and check that one out. Just remember the mic is not going to be as nice as this one. But this is going to be a random minigame choosing map. You might think, oh that's easy, you just use a random number generator. And you know, that's partially true, but not completely. So you're going to need a random number generator, a trigger, a teleporter, a mutator zone, a HUD message device, yep, and that is about it. Now, you are going to have to put teams on this, and you will have to get player spawners with teams. So, you know, usually you would have your player spawner out here and you would set it up to the correct team. So in this one, I would do one player, nope, that's not it. Player team, team 1, and I would do team 1. Then the next one, it would be team 2, and so on and so forth, all the way up to team 16. For this tutorial, I'm just going to do up to team 4, but do not worry. This is incredibly easy to do, and you can add as many teams as you want. So, let's get started. Now, we're going to be taking some inspiration from my Loop Beasts map. Go and check that out if you haven't already. But let's put the roll time up to 5 seconds. Now, in Loop Beasts, you could see the random generator, and then it would pick one, and then maybe after 3 or 4 seconds, it would spawn you in the map. I'm also going to show you how to do that. It's very, very simple. Zone forwards, and we'll just let's do 3 mini games for this one. Again, this is incredibly easy to change. It's just the same thing, copy and paste it over. A child could do it. I was a child. What? Never mind. No, I was. No, I wasn't. Maybe I can't remember these things, people. But anyway, let's get a mutator zone out here. And we're going to put this so it activates in any team. Weapon fire on, affects all players, yes, lada. VFX, you can have this on or off, it really does not matter. Now, we're going to set this up here to enable when receiving from 500, and you can set these to anything you want, and disable when receiving from 499. And actually we're going to disable when receiving from 500 and enable when receiving from 499. So now we've got this big area. This is going to be over your spawn room where the players are waiting for the minigame to be chosen. This is the area. Now this is a new system that I actually figured out when making my summer map Splash and Dash. You're only going to need 1 trigger, and that actually wasn't for Splash and Dash, that was for a different map altogether. But yes, that's right, you need 1 trigger. So Splash and Dash, I done it a different way, where you need a trigger for every minigame. This one literally uses 1 mutator zone, which I can't believe, it's crazy. But anyway, on player entering, transmit on 4, 9, 8. And then of course we're going to have the mutator zone here, set up to the team. You're going to have one of these for every single team member. Make sure these are set to none, and then teleport to when receiving from 498. Now you can keep them invisible or not. I'm going to keep mine visible actually for this tutorial. Now, what you're going to want to do next, this is where it slightly gets a bit more complicated. You're going to want to make sure teleporters are disabled at any game point. You can keep them enabled during pre-game, but it's not going to make much difference. There we go. We'll do pre-game only. The reason why I say it doesn't matter is because it literally goes invisible, and if you change it to none, it doesn't even change, which is really disappointing, but it's the way that is. Now we'll get back to that teleporter in a second, because we have to deal with the random number generator. Place a trigger down, and then when it's triggered, transmit on 497. We're going to copy that and put that here in the second one, make that 496, and then we're going to do one more time, and can you guess what it's going to be? It's going to be 495. Now the random number generator, we're going to make sure this starts on game start. Activating game phase, game start. So this is going to go through for 5 seconds and choose one. Choose that one over there. Now go back into these, and we're going to go down and put a delay of 3 seconds on each of these, and that is basically what will allow it to flash. The players will see the flash and the game starts. So if you do it again, it'll choose one, choose that one, it'll flash, and then 3 seconds later it'll stop flashing and will teleport to the players within this zone. Now back to the teleporters. We're going to make this disable when receiving from 499. Now we're going to make these disable when receiving from 500, and we're going to make it enable when receiving from 497. And we're going to go in here. Of course, we've got that all set up properly. I was going to make it invisible, but for the tutorial, we're not. Now we're going to spread these out a wee bit. That's minigame 1. We're going to put minigame 2 over here. Just go here and change this one to 496. And then we'll put the third minigame over here, and we'll change that to 495. Now you've got that all set up. That's the main area done. But if you want the minigame thing to work multiple times, so when the game finishes, then it'll pick another one. It won't just end the round and you'll have to wait for another round to start. You want it all to work in the one place. Well, that's really easy. You're going to get these to trigger. When triggered, transmit on. We're going to put this to 500. We're then going to have, of course, the 3 second delay. We're going to put this to 5 seconds though, so if a player dies straight away, they will still have time to teleport back in if they've got like 3 seconds respawn time, and then that'll still be enabled for another 2 seconds, which will teleport the player back into the round. Now we're also going to make this trigger when receiving from 494. We're going to go to the random number generator. Winning value, we're going to change this to 0. When rolled max, transmit on 494. And in fact, if you don't want that 5 seconds, we can change this just to 500, but we're going to keep that little 5 second cooldown. On when, transmit on 494. And 494. Now 494 is obviously going to be triggered multiple times if it chooses like a max or minimum number, which is totally fine because it's not going to really affect this. Now you've got that all set up. Now these mini games, you know, there's going to be several ways you set these up, such as if there's one person left in the zone, transmit on. If 10 minutes is up, transmit on. We're going to do a timer with ours. Bap, timer, and we're going to set this up for 30 seconds, maybe just 15 seconds as well. And this is going to be how long the mini game goes on for. So once 15 seconds is over, it's going to teleport everyone that's still in that mini game back to the hub, and then start the next mini game roll. So start when receiving from 500, and on success, transmit on 493. So once 493 is transmitted, it's going to enable these. So it would do 493. Have I disabled these? Aha! Now there's something we missed, and I'm lucky I noticed that. Enable when receiving from. Or not enable. Enable during phase. We're putting both of these on none. Make sure they are always on a none. Now, we haven't set this up yet, but we're going to go into disable when receiving from 492. We're then also going to change this, so activate when receiving from 492. Now this is so you can add yourself another little delay. So we're going to do 493, 492. So what this will do is, if you have a shop in your hub area, you can then adjust the time on how long they have in the hub until the next minigame is rolled. You could also change this to the amount of length, but this is a much cleaner way of doing it and a lot easier to sort of set up and stuff. A bit more user-friendly. That's what they call it nowadays, isn't it? Now, on player entering, transmit on 491. Then we're going to grab one of these triggers, not triggers, teleporters. We're going to go in here, teleport to and receiving from 491. We can get rid of both of these, and we can enable it on every phase, because it's always going to be enabled. So anyone that's still alive will be teleported to this trigger, so you can make it so when players teleport it to, transmit on, and it gives players coins or whatever. Now back to these, we can literally copy and paste this mutator zone on all of these teleporters or across all of the mini games. Now, I need to disable the Sky Dome. Okay, now we can actually start this. So, let's go. So, when the game starts, we won't teleport or anything until this here goes off. So, it will do 3 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever it was. 1, 2, 3. We've seen the flash, then triggers. Now, we can see the rest of these triggering, and as you can see, none of the mutator zones have enabled. We'll get to that in a second. But then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was the one over here. And if we run over here, we get teleported there. Oh boy, I thought that wasn't going to work. Now back to the teleporters that have not enabled. Don't worry, they will enable. Now it might be like, oh, why did it not enable them? Well, that's 494. And if we go to here, enable from 495. That's 495. Hold on a second. Huh? Aha! I figured out the issue. It's nothing to do with the teleporters at all. It's this. Nothing is transmitting on 499. Transmitting is 0, receiving is 1. So this is not enabling. Why? So we need this to enable once it's chosen one of these. So we're going to actually need another trigger here. Of course, the exact same thing, but this one will be 499. And then just copy this over each of these zones. Shows that one after 3 seconds. Both of those triggers will enable. Let's keep them at 3 seconds because this is right, and then put this to 2 seconds. Each of these ones we've already had before with the different channels. We're putting them to 2 seconds. Put this one with 3 seconds, then along here. So what is that going to do? That's going to enable a teleporter first, and then a second later it's going to teleport us. So it chooses one. It should enable that portal. Then we have a second. So it takes about a second for those to enable, and so on and so forth. Remember, you've also got this little delay guy over here. Just change that as much as you like. But anyway, we go back over here because that wasn't a long enough delay for someone to die and respawn. But you'll see, since we stayed alive, it teleported us. After 10 seconds, it will then roll again, just like that. That will be the one over there. There's a teleporter, and we teleport over. If we walk into that, nothing happens. Of course, the delay is too short and it disappears really quickly. Now, there's something you might have noticed. The timer is not going again, therefore the game will never end. How do you fix that? That is an incredibly simple thing to fix. So do not panic. Mr. Mobile will be here to show you how to fix it. Go into the timer here and you'll scroll on down till it says completion behavior stop. Change this to reset. Reset puts the timer back into its pre-start state. As for restart, it resets but starts the timer again. So if you put it on reset, it'll reset to 15 seconds or whatever time you've got it set to, and we'll wait until the next time it's triggered. Now, why would you want to show these to your audience? Of course, you can make the triggers invisible and all, but you can also get a billboard to make it a bit more visually appealing. We'll place that there, and we can say ball splat or something, you know, your mini game would be called. Put it to the right settings, outline, shadow, all the nice stuff, and we would have ball splat. Grapple golf, where you grapple onto apples, I don't know. And Fortnite 0 Point 6-issue Batman comic series. So now when the players are here in the hub and they can see that, they will then see the names of the minigame that's being chosen. It'll go into like ball splat and they'll be like, oh, ball splat's been chosen, okay, and then they'll be a bit more prepared for what minigame's being chosen. As for the HUD message device, you can also set this up, so if it's triggered by 497, ball splat was chosen. Make sure time from round start is 0 or off, and put this to 3 seconds. Then do the exact same thing for the other ones. This would be 496 grapple golf, and then 495 Fortnite 0 Point. The 6-issue Batman comic series. Sorry, I've just been making a lot of jokes to someone about that. So now, anyway, if we start the game and one's chosen, it will bring up on our screen what one's chosen, and you'll be able to see it with the billboards what one was chosen. Grapple golf was chosen, and we teleport. So there you go, everyone. That's how you make yourself a minigame, a random minigame chooser, where it teleports the player with only one mutator zone. Again, I did not know you could do it with one mutator zone until very recently. A couple weeks ago, I only figured that out. But that is how simple it is. And now that I look at it, it's not that much. It's, what was it, 100 things? 10? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 channels, everyone. 10 channels is all we used. And that's for 3 mini games, remember? That is for 3. So if you want to add more, it'll use like 1 more. Whoopee. But anyway, if you like this, please let me know in the comments below. And why not subscribe? We do daily videos of Fortnite Creative, and we do a bunch of other tutorials. So go and check out the playlist on my channel, where we've got a bunch of Among Us tutorials, how to make your own Among Us map, another minigame one where players can choose what minigame they want, so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm your host today, Mr. Mobile. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye!